What's up, lads and ladettes? How are we all doing today? I hope you guys are doing fantastically well. So, I'm here on Calypso just doing some swunting, and I figured, you know what, this is probably the best time to do that video that I said that I was going to do in the previous video, talking about the way of sweating that I've learnt from Disciples of Alion. Because I don't know if people click the links in the description. I have no idea. So I decide, you know what? I'm just going to demonstrate and then let you guys do with as you will. Well, FYI, I am a little bit sick. I caught a cold or a flu that my son had. It's not COVID, but I think due to the whole COVID crap that I had a couple of weeks back, it's just affected me a lot more than it probably fucking should. I've taken some meds. I should be fine, but I figured I'm going to get this video out there, and then at the end of this video, I'm also going to explain stuff that I'm going to be doing going forward, some exciting stuff, which I know some of you will be excited for. So, we'll talk about that after I have demonstrated this. So, sweating. Sweating can be annoying, especially if you're sweating a mob and they keep hitting you. That sucks. That really does suck. But with the method that I learned from Disciples of Alion, this is now a thing of the past. See, with the sweating tool out, you can see that I am able to go backwards and forwards. With a gun, I can go backwards and forwards, right? However, if I'm shooting, I can only slowly walk backwards with a gun. However, if I'm using a tool, or if I'm using the VSE Mark 1, I can run backwards and forwards. Which means I can come up to this Ixarasaur young and then start draining it of sweat. Then once it starts, trying to seeketh revenge, I can then just run away. And I can keep it at a distance. Close enough to sweat, but far enough away that it can't hit me. And this has been an absolute game changer for me, ladies and gents. It has been an absolute game changer. And one bonus thing about this is the fact that I'm running around, right? I'm not in one spot. I'm running around. So, let's say I was to get a bigger mob, right? Let's say I was to get a far bigger mob. A mob that's, got like 1,000 health. Hits like a fucking Mack truck. Something that no one in their right mind would want to swunt without armor, or would want to swunt at all unless they're in a big group. But the mob itself is slow as dog shit, right? Like a Triescaron or something like that. You got a big old fatty Triescaron, and you try to swunt it normally by hitting auto use tool and praying that it doesn't hit you before, and you get a couple of bottles of sweat before you die. It's just not going to work, right? But with this method, you can get a big fatty mob. You can run around the map, and what's something that happens when you run around the map? That's right, you find fruit and stone and dung, and it's just a bonus. So think of it this way, right? By doing this, you're able to run around, look for fruit and stone, and because you kind of need to keep yourself within the distance, within the usage range of the sweat tool, it encourages you to slow down, which means that you're far, far, far more likely to notice fruit and stone. You're far more likely to notice them, right? And because you're running this way, instead of them disappearing at the bottom of your screen, they're going to appear at the bottom of the screen, and they're going to make their way back towards your person. And you'll be able to sweat mobs dry, look for fruit and stone, and then kill the mob once it's dry, all in the one activity. And like I said, this has been an absolute game changer for me. Just for swunting. For Swunting Exarosaurs, this has been an absolute game changer. And now, I don't, like, you might be wondering, like, especially those of you that knew that you can do this, you might be wondering, how did you not know that you could use the Vibrant Sweat tool while running backwards? And even though you're facing the completely opposite direction, you're still able to draw the sweat. Why is it that you didn't know this? And I think it is literally just because of assumptions. With a gun, because when you use a gun, you're constantly pointing in the direction that you're using that weapon, you're using that gun, I assumed that it is the same for tools. I assumed that it, specifically for the sweating tool, I assumed it is exactly the same for the sweating tool, because it makes sense. Right? Because it makes sense that you would have to be facing that direction. But the fact that you can do this is amazing. And they better keep this in the game, because the fact that this is a good way of sweating means that players that are free to play or low depot will have a method of sweating that is going to be way better than just sitting around a sweat circle. I mean, you could do that, but if you also want to be swunting, right? Say you're a low depot player, you deposit 5 PED a week. Sorry, not 5 PED. You deposit $5 a week. So you're getting 50 PED worth of... Let's say you get 50 PED worth of universal ammunition each week. Instead of just blowing it all on a hunt and then making 30 PED back, because with that 50 PED, you're not going to be able to cycle through enough mobs to... Even low-level mobs, you're not going to be able to cycle through enough low-level mobs to see that average return of 95%. With Exarosaurs, for me, that comes out at around about 300 PED. Sometimes less, like if I get decent loots early on, but generally I don't start to see the bigger loots that even things out until after the 100 PED mark. So then generally it takes between 200 and 300 PED to get to that 95%. And then from there it tends to linger. It might drop below, it might go above. And look, my mob is dry. And that took maybe 5 minutes. That took maybe 5 minutes, and that gave me 50 bottles of sweat. And just from that alone, right, and this is what, like, some of the stuff that we were talking about in the previous video about doing that little, like, as Jacob mentioned, doing that little bit extra to get better returns. That 50 bottles of sweat, the equivalency is around about 7 PEC, that's sort of what it comes out to. So I gained 7 PEC in probably about 5 minutes of a little bit of work. And I think that's I think this is something that if anyone wants to swunt or even just sweat, it's a good way of doing it. And you know, if you don't want to sell directly to other people and you have that extra PED, you could always get the Force Nexus. That's what I do, right? I get Force Nexus, I buy it in bulk, so it's nice and cheap. I try to get it at around about 101%. If I can get it below that, even fucking better. And then, you know, 100 PED for 100 PED worth for 101%. And then I use, I use 10k worth of sweat, and then I could sell the Mind Essence for about 120 PED because it's like 120% markup, which is really cool. It's really cool. I like that. That is the thing that you can do. And that's what I tend to do. So yeah, give this a crack and look for Fruit and Stone while you're doing it. And now that we're at the end of, like, now that I've given my information and all that sort of stuff, yeah, this is good for low depot players and free-to-play players and all that sort of stuff. And the best thing is, if you don't want to shoot them, say you wanted to get even more, you can just drown them, so you don't use any PED whatsoever. But yeah, a little bit of an announcement at the end of the video. which is I'm going to be resuming playing Eve. I've just really been itching to get into it proper. I will be making videos on it at some point in the future, but I want to give myself some time to just play it and enjoy it without recording or anything like that. And then once I have a nice handle and swing on things, then we might make a new Capsuleer, and then we might, I don't know, we'll do something interesting. Or if you guys want to continue to see the Nooblet videos of me going, what the fuck do I do? I can piece them together. They could be fun. So I'm going to leave that as sort of a thing in the comment section. If you've made it to the end of the video and you're interested in Eve, let me know in the comment section if you want to wait until I'm more knowledgeable of the game before I make any videos, or do you want to see the growth and development of me as a new player? Let me know. And yeah, so that's kind of the big announcement. I am also continuing the Orcs Must Die series. Like I said, I've been sick and shit's been going on recently, so I haven't been able to record. I actually think I have a third episode recorded already, so I might publish that either today or tomorrow. I completely forgot about it. But I will be resuming that once I'm better. And I'll be doing it in batches and all that sort of stuff, so they'll kind of get released over time. So look forward to a lot of diverse content in the future. Look forward to a lot of different games. I'm going to be starting a playthrough of Neverwinter Nights in the next week or two. And I'm also going to be checking out some horror games as well, because I'm a little bit of a bitch when it comes to horror games. I love horror movies, right? Horror movies are my jam. I think it's just because I'm a big cinematography buff. I'm a big cinema buff. Well, not the cinema itself, because I hate the crowds, but I can pretty much tell when a jump scare is coming up, or when any kind of spooky thing is going to happen, because of just changes in tone and positioning of actors in relation to the screen and all that sort of stuff. And I could kind of just tell. But I'm also going to be doing, I'm going to be playing horror games, because why the fuck not? It might be fun, and you guys might get a kick out of me scaring the fuck out of myself. And there won't be any like bullshit, like fake, like old school PewDiePie kind of stuff. Won't be any of that crap. It will be like just genuine. If I'm scared, I'm fucking scared. Anyway, you'll take care, stay safe, and give me suggestions in the comment section. Any games you guys want me to see, like you want to see on the channel. I'm also thinking about doing a Mountain Blade Bannerlord playthrough as well. Even if you think it's cringe, I love the game, and fuck you. You guys take care, stay safe, I love you to bits. I will see you guys in the next one. Oh, and thank you, Midnight Bacon and Kobeck 420, my absolute big PP legends on my members. If you want to become a member, feel free to do that. It's in the description, I think. You don't have to, but that's there. I am still very sick, so I'm going to go. You all take care. Stay safe. I'll see you in the next one.